Welcome to the tutorial where I'm going to break down all the chords that I used in my song titled the Clav Jam. This song is really funky, it has a lot of really nice voicings and chords in it. And what I'd like to do, rather than break down every single progression and movement and run that I do in this, I'd like to focus on one aspect of my chords in this particular song, and that's going to be taking any minor chord and making it jazzy. And so what I'd like to do first is go through the entire song, show you all the chords that I play and some of the rhythms that I use, and then we'll jump back to that idea of making any minor chord into a nicely voiced jazzy minor chord. Okay, so the first part of the song starts off like this. We're going to be in the key of G minor or B flat major. So those are the relative minors. They share the exact same keys. And so to start us off, I played this. So going very slowly, it's going to be a D and a G in my left hand, fifth interval apart. And then here, I'm going to play an F and a B flat with my 2 and my 5 finger. And then I'm going to drop down with my 1 and my 4 finger to the E and the A. So now pay attention to your fingering. It's going to allow you to move speedily across these notes. You don't want to be fumbling with your fingers when you're jamming. Okay, so make it nice and smooth. So again, the fifth interval down here starting on D, and then I do this little fill. Okay, so moving chromatically starting on A flat. My left hand does the A flat, chromatically up a whole step. Same thing with my left hand, chromatically up a whole step. And remember, all that chromatic means is that you're moving half steps up the piano. Okay, that's chromatic. So left hand and right hand. So putting them together. Okay, we'll break down those two chords. Okay, so that chord right there, left hand is going to have an octave, an E, and then your right hand is going to be built from the bottom up. It's going to be G sharp, C, D, and G. You can remember it like this. Just take a C chord, make it a C, add 2 chord, and then drop your lowest note 2.5 steps. Actually, it's going to be two whole steps. Okay, so that's your chord right there. And moving chromatically, so every note, every one of these notes is going to move up a whole step. So my left hand is going to move to F, here, the C here, and here. So boom. In jazzy music, in funky gospel music maybe, you'll see this a lot, where musicians move chromatically. Okay, so right there, that's just a lot of chromatic movement, adds a lot of feel to the music. So here we go. And then back to the beginning. And then right here, this run, I'm going to make a video specifically for this run. It's just a bluesy kind of run, and I did something along the lines of this. So one more time, very slowly. Now, I don't remember exactly how I did it in the video, but it followed something along the lines of that. And then we jump into the middle section right here, and it's just kind of grooving, so it's 1, 2, 3, da. Okay, and the chord that I hit there in my right hand, it's going to be a G minor chord, and it's going to be F, A, B flat, and D. And so as I get past the snapping part, we're just going, getting the beat going, and then I move on to this part. So So the left hand is just moving between the G and the F. And then the last part of the song, or rather this is still like the middle part, this is the most difficult part. And the way I'm going to show it to you is I actually have to play it up to tempo to get it down. And then what I'll do is I'll slow it down. So I'll start fast and then I'm going to slow down as much as I can to show you how the tempos move. There's going to be two different tempos. I'll show you the first tempo and then the second tempo. The second tempo is a little more challenging than the first. And before I do that, we got to figure out what notes we're going to be playing. So our left hand is going to do this, starting on G, D, F, chromatically up to B flat, and moving to C and D. So that's our left hand, and then our left hand will then eventually move up everything a whole step to the key of A minor here. So slowly A, E, G, G sharp chromatically, and then C, D, E. So that's what the left hand does. Let's go ahead and look at the right hand for this middle section here. Now the right hand, when the left hand is playing the G root and doing that movement there, your right hand is going to be playing a chord which we've already seen. And again, it's that G minor voiced very nicely, F, A, B flat, and D. So that's the first rhythm that I was talking about. I said there was two. Here's the first rhythm. I'll break it down slowly. Okay, so that's slowly. That's the first rhythm. And then eventually I bump it up. You hear in the song when I'm doing it, I'm going, and then I just take it up a level and I do this really funky rhythm. And what the rhythm is, it's a syncopated rhythm. And what all that means is that your hands, they take turns playing notes. So when I'm doing this, for the most part, none of my notes are going to come down together. None of my right hand or left hand notes will ever hit together. They'll always be separate, like that. Okay, so again, remember, I'm going to start off fast and then I'm going to slow it down so that you can get it. So here's a rhythm using the same notes, the G, that G minor, and then right there. Okay, so let me start it going, and then I'll slow it down for you. And the slower you go, the harder it is. Your hands, they feed off one another. So that's the second rhythm. And then I just switch between that and then also this chord right here. So we went over the left hand. And the right hand is just going to be playing an A minor voiced very nicely with a G, a B, a C, and an E. So G, B, C, E. So again, it's... Notice how my hands are taking turns right there? That's as best as I can break it down. If I go any slower, I'm going to start hitting wrong notes. So go over that, and as you pick up speed, it should be easier to get down. So now we just have the last part of the song, those funky chords that I end with. And those chords, I'm going from the A. So right there, it's just going to be in our right hand. We've seen this already. Again, it's